You do not get to walk away after what you did for him." The lawyer's voice cracked like a whip across the silent room. Every head turned toward the back row where a teenage girl sat in a plain black dress, hands folded tight in her lap. Looked small compared to the suits and polished shoes around her, but the words aimed at her were heavy enough to bend steel. Her name was Asha Monroe. 17. A girl who had never owned anything that cost more than a month of rent, now sitting in a marble building where the air smelled like cologne and power. She had come here to say goodbye to a man she barely knew. She did not come to fight for anything. She did not even know there was a fight waiting. 2 months earlier, Asha was just trying to get through a cold Thursday morning without falling. Behind, their apartment was the kind that held every sound, every worry, pipes that groaned. A fridge that hummed too loud when it was nearly empty. Asha's mother worked nights at a nursing home, coming home with tired eyes and hands that smelled like sanitizer. Her little brother Malik wheezed in his sleep whenever winter hit, and his inhaler cost more than their grocery list. Asha carried a notebook where she tracked bills like a second school schedule. Rent, lights, bus pass, Malik's medicine. She learned early that hope was real, but money decided the pace. On her walk to school, she saw a sign outside a blood center. Urgent need today. Lives depend on it. She stopped. It's not because she had time, but because need did something to her heart. She went in, filled out the form, and sat in a quiet room with soft lights and tired people. The needle stung. Her arm went cold, then warm. She watched her blood travel down a clear tube and told herself it was just a small thing. An hour, a bandage, a little dizziness. She left before anyone could praise her. She was late for class, and that was the only part of the day she thought about. In another building across the city, that same blood was racing into a man named Jeremiah Vale. Jeremiah was the kind of billionaire people spoke about like a myth. Founder of a tech empire, face on magazines, name on towers. But in that hospital bed, he was not a myth. He was a man whose heart was slipping into failure. A routine procedure had turned dangerous. His blood count dropped fast. Nurses moved. Like a storm, doctors called for a rare match. The clock pressed its hands into everyone's throat. Asha's blood matched. Jeremiah did not know her name when it reached him. Hospitals do not trade names with blood bags, yet he felt the change as if he could sense the gift itself. The fog in his head eased. His breathing found rhythm again. He lay staring at the white ceiling, smelling antiseptic and warm blankets, and asked the nurse where the blood came from. "First-time donor," she said. "Teenager. Came in this morning." Local Jeremiah turned the words over in his mind. Teenager. First-time donor. Local. Someone. The young had stepped into a chair and given life. Without being asked, without wanting anything back. He had built his world around deals and figures and leverage. Those people who approached him wanted something the moment they saw him. Fear, money, status. Sometimes all three. This donor wanted nothing. That truth hit him harder than the illness. The next day he insisted on a short drive. Fresh air, he said. The city he had almost left behind. As the car passed the blood center, he saw her step out. A thin hoodie in the cold. A worn backpack. A bright bandage on her arm. She was laughing softly into her phone. The kind of laugh that belongs to someone who does not get many reasons to laugh, but uses them well. She looked like a girl carrying more than books. She looked like a girl the world should have protected better. "Stop the car," Jeremiah said. From that seat, he watched her walk away, unaware that a man with more power than she could imagine had just been changed by her quiet hour of courage. He told his assistant to find her. Not for news, not for a photo, not for charity branding. Find her because I want to say thank you. Asha was frightened when the invitation came. People like Jeremiah Vale did not ask to meet girls like her. Shh. Went anyway, because something in the message was gentle, not demanding. The clinic he received her in was calm and bright. Flowers on the table, soft chairs. Jeremiah walked in slowly with a cane, pale but alive. Asha tried to back into politeness, sure there was a mistake. He shook his head, eyes staying on her like he was holding a fragile truth. "You donated blood Thursday morning? It reached me when I needed it most. You kept me here." Asha felt her chest go tight. She did not know what to say except, "I am glad it helped." She expected the meeting to end there. She expected a quick thank you and a polite goodbye. But Jeremiah did not dismiss her. He asked her name. He asked about school, about her family, what she wanted from life. At first she gave small answers, guarded ones. But his attention was steady in a way that did not feel like a test. She told him about Malik's asthma, her mother's hours, the bills, the notebook, the way she was always trying to keep the floor from falling out under them. Jeremiah listened without interrupting. His silence did not push her down. It made space for her. Before she left, he said something that stayed with her like warmth. Goodness is not a debt. It is a circle. Let it reach you too. They met again and again. Jeremiah did not throw gifts at her. He helped quietly. Malik's medicine covered through a private clinic, groceries delivered without labels, Asha's test prep paid for without fanfare. Every time she tried to refuse, he answered with the same calm truth. I am not paying you back. I am standing with you. There is a difference. Their bond grew into something neither of them planned. Asha began to see him less as a billionaire and more as a lonely man who had spent a lifetime winning battles, but losing people. Jeremiah began to see her as family, not because of what she did for him, but because of who she was while doing it. He told her about the early days of his company, about friends he lost, about regrets he lived with. He told her money is loud, but character is louder when the room goes quiet. She told him about her dream to study nursing, to become the kind of steady hand her mother had always been for others. Then one winter night, Jeremiah's heart finally stopped. No fireworks. No headlines in the room, just a quiet ending to a long, heavy life. In his last year, he had rewritten his will with a clarity that did not surprise him, but shocked everyone else. That is how Asha found herself in this marble building, surrounded by people who had once called Jeremiah friend in public and feared him in private. The lawyer read through pages of gifts to charities, employees, research groups. The room stayed calm, almost bored, until the lawyer reached the final clause. His voice changed. It grew careful, almost reverent to Asha Monroe, the young woman whose blood kept Jeremiah Vale alive long enough to remember who he wanted to be. I leave my remaining personal fortune and controlling interest in Vale Horizons, not as charity, but as faith. Silence landed like a weight. Faces stiffened, some in shock, some in anger, some in fear of what this meant for their plans. Asha felt the world tilt. She looked down at her hands as if they belonged to someone else. Her name on those papers looked unreal. She did not cry, not yet. Her mind had no room for tears. That was when the lawyer snapped at the room, not at her. You do not get to walk away after what you did for him. He earned this right to choose. She earned his trust. Asha stood slowly, breath steadying. She was not loud. She did not need to be. She said one simple line that cut through every glare in the room. He did not give me this because I asked. He gave it because he believed I would use it right. I will prove him right. Outside reporters swarmed, hungry for drama. But Asha walked past them like a quiet storm, her chin up, her eyes clear. She went home to Malik, sleeping on the couch, to her mother shaking with relief, to the kitchen table, where bills used to sit like enemies. She finally cried then, not for the money, but for the weight lifting off her family and for the man who saw her worth before the world did. Asha did not disappear into luxury. She built a life that matched the gift. She paid off debts for families in her block without leaving her name behind. She opened a community clinic in the neighborhood where waiting for help used to mean losing hope. She funded blood drives for years, standing outside the same center that started it all, reminding people that one quiet yes can change a whole future.